This will be something I need to process for a long time.
I actually do not know who to trust anymore.
Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. Today's video is one of my favorite videos to film. I feel like you guys all know this by now, literally just because of how much I do it, and that is finishing every series I am in the middle of, except this vlog is going to be exclusively fantasy series, which we haven't done before. We've usually done like a mix of fantasy and romance or something like that. This vlog is only going to be fantasy series we are in the middle of. I'm gonna keep this intro very short and sweet though, because we have so much reading to do, and I don't want to ramble on for too long, and I feel like we'll leave you in suspense of what the books are gonna be. For now, you've probably already seen it on the thumbnail, but anyway. So we've got a lot of books to get through, a lot of fantasy series to be read. Let's just get started. I swear in winter I'll have like one coffee or one caffeinated drink. I don't drink coffee every day. I drink like a combination of matcha, chai, and coffee, and I'll have like one caffeinated drink a day because I have like a million herbal teas a day in winter. In summer I just can't help it. I get the heat makes me so tired, and I need something to be constantly like sipping on, and I love ice drinks. Ice drinks are so much fun. So we are reading The Gilded Cage, which is the second book in the Prison Healer series. I read the first book in my 24-hour readathon, and my mind was actually blown for numerous reasons. Number one, I feel like I went in with such little expectation. I really didn't think it would live up to the amount of hype I have seen surrounding it. Also, I have seen a lot of people read it and just be like, it was okay. So I kind of thought I was going to be an person. Like, I really didn't think I was going to be obsessed with it, if I'm going to be honest. Despite the fact that I didn't really think this through, because I am obsessed with Lynette Noni's writing. I love the way she creates characters, everything like that. I was severely wrong. I went into this and I was obsessed. I love the setting of it. I love the characters. I love the world we are set in. Like, everything about it I love. If you don't know what the Prison Healer series is about, we're following our main protagonist, Kiva, who works in a jail that keeps all the kind of rebels and has worked there for the past 10 years as a healer. The only reason she's working there is to survive, purely to survive. When she was very young, her family were captured from disobeying the crown, even though they weren't really. It was thought that they were scheming, or rumors that they were rebelling or something. Father unfortunately passes away whilst we're in prison, but she kind of carries on his legacy as a healer and continues to be a healer just to survive, just to get through and hopefully maybe one day escape. I'm so excited to get into this. Every time I post on my story on Instagram about like me reading this series, I get people messaging every single story. I've had so many of you contact me and just be like, I need you to read this series. I am so excited to see your thoughts on this series. I can't wait for you to get into this series. Trust me, I'm enjoying it. I am very much enjoying it. So I am only 72 pages in. I feel like we're really just setting up the whole plot at the moment. We're getting introduced to so many more characters, which I'm really liking. I finished book one, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe less, and I've got onto this one pretty damn quickly. I read 2 books in between this. I'm so excited to be back into this world. So I'm just gonna keep reading now and just get really lost in it. Obviously we have a little bit of a change in location, but I'm hoping you can just bear with me with this lighting because it is such a beautiful day outside, and I wanted to be outside whilst I was reading. I'm also at my parents' house now. Okay, for an update, I am about 160 pages into the Prison Healer, not the Prison Healer, second one, The Gilded Cage. I have just such good vibes from this series. Like, I just kind of know it's one of those series that I'm going to love, that's going to become like my entire personality. I will say I feel really bad for some of our characters, like knowing what we know and then just like, it's slightly painful to read. I don't have too much to update. I really love a lot of our characters. I'm hoping I can just sit down and read this all today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but I really want to. And then for my next read, I know I've like only just started this read, kind of, and we'll talk about it more, I promise, but I just want to let you know, for my next read, I read Fourth Wing, liked it, enjoyed it, it was a really fun time. Then I read Iron Flame and I was like, didn't like this as much. It felt like I couldn't with the like miscommunication, and so I didn't like Iron Flame as much. Like, I gave it like a 3.25. So I was very hesitant about whether I was going to read Onyx Storm or not, but I literally just got FOMO. I got FOMO from seeing everyone read it. So I think that's going to be our next book in continuing series that we're in the middle of. For now, let's just keep reading this. One thing I feel like Lynette Noni always does so well, found family and like royals situations. Does that make sense? Like, we're in a kingdom at the moment, and just the dynamics between the characters in this kingdom is so good. The dialogue in this is so good. It's so good. I feel like I know Kiva back to front. Like I feel like I know her character so well. And also when a main protagonist doesn't annoy me, that's a big thing, especially in a fantasy book. They can often annoy me and I'll just kind of look past it, but like Kiva is awesome. I'd like her.
What? I swear to God, Lynette Noni, she just likes to throw all these like plot twists in just to kind of keep you on your toes. Just so you know you never, like, just so you know that you just can't be comfortable, like ever. Like you just have to always be ready for something to happen. I feel like what's really interesting about this book is that, as I said before, like I am just constantly waiting for this thing to happen. Like we're in the know, but like some of our other characters don't know. And it's like that anticipation, and it's like also you're just like scared. It's a really confusing feeling. And like I love it, but I hate it. So obviously I've made a lot of progress. I'm at page 330. I feel like this is definitely a middle book. Like it definitely feels like a middle book, if that makes sense. With a lot of series, I feel like the middle book is almost like the filler book, especially with trilogy. It's apart from Once Upon a Broken Heart, that was insane. Like that was insanely good for a second book. And like whilst I'm loving this, like don't get me wrong, I'm having the best time. I just feel like it's been a lot of build up this book. Like it hasn't been a lot of like action, but rather like there is just so much building up. And I feel like that means the third book is just going to be like non-stop action or just a lot of like key kind of plot points. And as I said, we've met some really great characters. I'm so excited to just like binge this series. Like I'm definitely going to be reading the third one. I don't know if in this vlog, but like at least very soon. I am ready for an insane plot point. Like I'm just after the ending of the last book, I don't know how this is gonna end, and I feel like it's gonna end on a big cliffhanger. Just won't like make me want to go into the next book straight away. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading this. Let's read together. Let's see how crazy it gets. What? I actually do not know who to trust anymore. Like, I do not know. This is Maisie in my lap, by the way. I do not know who to trust. Oh my God. Oh my God. I love Lynette Noni. If what's happening is happening, no. I never liked this character. I knew it. No, I didn't. Actually, I didn't guess that from a mile away, but I didn't like their vibe. So much is happening in like 3 pages.
Okay, so as you saw the other day, I finished The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. What a roller coaster. What a roller coaster this was. I was kind of like up to like, I don't know, let's say like here, like 100 pages maybe from the end. And I was like, you know, this has been really good, but I almost expected a little bit more. I almost expected more plot twists. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon because as you could see, my mind was reeling. It is actually the next day. I had to process that situation. I had to process what happened. I couldn't go onto a book straight away because I was like, what just happened? These characters mean so much to me. I am quickly falling in love with them, and I don't know where it's gonna go in our next book. Like I cannot wait to read the next book first, but I feel like there are so many possibilities of where it can go in our next book, and I'm slightly terrified for that reason. I don't know, oh my god, I'm loving this series so much. I'm thanking you for begging me to read this series because it is totally worth it, and I feel like I don't see enough hype on it. I am definitely going to be reading the, what is it, Blood Trader in February, because it is the end of January now. But yeah, I'll definitely be reading this very, very soon. I've got a feeling this is going to be a 5 stars. As for this one, I feel like I'm going to rate it at 4.75 stars. Like, that's how much I am loving this series, how much I am loving these characters. I cannot believe I've waited this long to read it. Like, I really truly didn't expect to be so obsessed with it and having so much fun reading it. So the next series I am reading, as we know, is Onyx Storm. Well, the Fourth Wing series. This is the 3rd book in this series by Rebecca Yarros. And as a little summary of my thoughts, I really enjoyed Fourth Wing. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really easy. I loved the whole academy setting. I loved the whole dragon setting. It was kind of How to Train Your Dragons mixed with like adult fantasy, mixed with a lot more romance, like that kind of vibe. And I loved it with an academy setting. Like Zodiac Academy meets How to Train Your Dragon. Like, I loved that setting. I really truly did. I found it really easy and just kind of really addictive to binge read, and I feel like everyone did, and that's why it is so loved. The characters I didn't connect to as much as I could have. One thing I do love about this series though is the chronic illness rep in it. Violet has a chronic illness that has to do with her joints dislocating really easily, and it's not like focused on, it's not hyper fixated on. You could easily just skim past it and not even realize that she has it. That's kind of what I love. I love just our characters having these things and having to deal with these things, and I think chronic illnesses, disabilities, all that kind of stuff should be so much more just like integrated into books. It should be just a usual thing. So I do really like that Rebecca Yarros has kind of added that to some of her characters. Iron Flame was that's why it's so big. Iron Flame is chunky, and I feel like we could have done with a few hundred pages less, maybe 200 pages less, not dramatically. And the second one I was kind of just really forcing myself through. Now, that was not because of the plot. I actually loved the plot. I loved where it went. I love how it escalated. I love how she added so much to the world building. It was the relationship and it was the characters that made it really hard for me to get through. However, the ending of this blew my mind, and I was like, I don't really, like, I really had to push myself through this. If it didn't end like that, I would have no desire to go into the second book. I mean, to the 3rd book. And I really was like kind of battling in my head whether I did want to go into the 3rd book. Ultimately, I decided to go onto it because I saw a few people read the 3rd book and be like, you know what? Also, these spines look so pretty together. But they were like, you know what? I didn't like Iron Flame at all, and I'm actually really enjoying this book. I'm having a really good time. So I was like, you know what? That is my sign that I need to read this book. I didn't do a reread of Iron Flame when I probably should have, because right now, 50 pages in, not knowing who is who. Like, I am pulling up a character list again and again. I've looked at summaries. I've really done a thorough revision of Iron Flame, so I know what's going on. But still, I am confused. I am still trying to grasp my head around who all these characters are. I'm sorry, but this little list at the beginning, that is not enough. We need a whole bloody glossary for this. We need every single character and who they're related to and how they're related to this person and when they came into the book, because I am so confused. And I posted about it on my TikTok, and apparently all of you are confused as well. All of you don't know where, who, when. So I'm very glad it's not just me. I'm already understanding a lot more than I was in the first like 20, 30 pages of it. And also, I think the big reason I didn't know whether to continue this series, sorry, this is the last thing I'll say and then we're gonna go read, is that I don't really connect to any of the characters, and I don't really connect to the writing style of this book. I don't know why. It's kind of the same as Sarah J Maas for me. Whilst I do love her books and I think they're really entertaining, I struggle to connect with the writing. It doesn't feel as digestible, you know what I mean? Like, I can just absolutely like binge it. Lee Bardugo Grishaverse, I absolutely binge, and it just feels like I am watching a movie. Like, that's how easy it is for me to read. This, I just kind of feel a little bit more removed, and I feel like it's a little bit more clunky, and it's just a little bit, I don't know, it's just that little bit step back. But anyway, those are my rambles of thoughts right now. We're gonna go keep reading this tonight, and hopefully we're gonna get a good chunk in. Can I just say, I think Redok is like, Redok? I think that's how you say it. I think he is my new favorite character because, like, I haven't really connected to a lot of the characters in this. I've kind of been quite removed from them. And I think he is just what I needed. He is just the kind of like fun energy we needed. Like that's what we were missing, I feel like. I mean, I can't remember how much he was in Iron Flame. Not nearly as much as this, because I feel like I would have remembered him a lot more. Also, this quote he says, he is just saying what everyone's thinking. He's giving the vibes. He's giving the good vibes. Okay, I feel like we're finally making progress. I am 130 pages in, so I've definitely made a bit of a dent, and I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more now. I'm starting to understand everyone. I'm starting to kind of get a grip on everything. There are definitely still characters that I have to go, hang on, who are you? And I either go to the tiny glossary in the front of the book that's like way too small, or I go online and like I find the character. As I said, kind of liking the more character dynamics that we're getting. I feel like we're getting a lot more like character development, if you will, in this book, and I'm here for that. Definitely not gripping me as much as the first one. I don't think any will. It would grip me like a lot if I actually really cared about the characters, and like I do care about them, but I'm just not as connected as I could be to them. So I'm kind of just like, okay, I'm here for the ride, I'm here for the fun, it's good, it's fun. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading now, and I'll give you a bit more of an update once, like, hopefully I'm just sitting down and binging this. I've got a few hours to spare. It's the afternoon, so I'm literally going to just sit down and binge as much of this as I can. I think halfway in now. I'm at page 280. I've just been binging it the whole time. I haven't sat here the whole time. I've been up and doing stuff because it just isn't capturing my attention like I wanted it to. However, within the past, I'd say about 30 pages, I have been like addicted to it and have not thought about anything else. And that's when you know it's a good book. So I don't know if I'll actually finish it today. That's a lengthy thing. That's like pretty much all of it in one day. I don't know if I can do that. The thing is, I have been able to avoid spoilers. I have avoided spoilers for this entire book. However, I've been seeing people cry over it, and I know that chapter 34, some shit goes down. Something happens. That's all I know. Chapter 34. That's literally it. I'm about to reach chapter 34. I'm at chapter 33 now. I'm about to read chapter 33. So I just thought I'd film my reaction. So I'm an idiot. It's not chapter 34. It's chapter 53. I just finished chapter 34 and I was there going like preparing myself, and I was really confused. And I was like, have I like missed something? Yeah, no, I went back to the TikTok because I knew who posted it, and it was chapter 53. So I've got a long way to go. So I just finished Onyx Storm, and there are a lot of unanswered questions. I'm going to be going on to Book Talk and just finding answers to my theories, and just like who has the same theories as me after reading this, because I'm very confused. Definitely a lot better than Iron Flame in my opinion. I thought it was really good. It's very hard to talk about this without any spoilers, but of course I will. I think the main thing that really annoys me with this is that I feel like it could have been probably a little, like a lot of nothing happened. A lot happened, but also nothing progressed, if that makes sense. Like a lot of nothing happened. So it was entertaining. Like it was definitely entertaining, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like these are the middle books. These are definitely the middle books, and I guess I just have to keep remembering that. And this ending is insane. Like it definitely left me questioning a lot, and honestly I felt like I was going into this book and getting more answers. Now I feel like I have more questions than answers, if that makes sense. This will be something I need to process for a long time, just because like what on earth. I'm just really confused. I think for a rating, I'm going to go for a 4 stars with this one. I love the world. I loved a few of our characters. I really did. But our main characters, I'm really not connecting to. And the writing style is really hard for me to connect to. I'm not a big present tense person. I much prefer third person past tense. So that in itself, I don't know why, but little things like that can sometimes make it hard for me to read and harder for me to get like immersed in the book. I feel like because I've grown up reading Harry Potter and Percy Jackson and everything like that, and they're all written in third person past tense. So now I'm like used to reading third person past tense. I know that's not good. And it's definitely something like a hurdle I want to get over. But in saying that, I do love our world. I do love like the whole atmosphere of it. I love the dragons. I love the academy setting. I think if you're new to fantasy as well, you will love this. I do think I'll continue the series. I am really curious to see where it goes. I don't think the next one's coming out till like 2027. So I feel like what I'll probably do is do a whole reread of the series when the next one is coming out. And I think going in like that will probably give me a better idea. And maybe like when I reread this, I'll even like it more. Like who knows? Because I'll know some kind of foreshadowing and all that. And I do love rereading some books like that clearly have a lot of clues hidden in if you really want to like dissect it all. Now I did start my next read. Started it last night because I had like 100 pages left of this and I didn't want to finish it at night and not get my reaction, and I was in bed and I couldn't be bothered to get out. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna save this tomorrow for when I'm like sane of mind and all that. So last night I started Skyshade. This is the third book in the Lilac Saga by Aster. First one is definitely my favorite so far of this series. The second one, I love the world. I love the whole tournament aspect. If you don't know what Lilac is about for some reason. Lilac is basically an island, sorry, my hair is really annoying me, that appears every 100 years. And it gives these people a chance to break their deadly curses. So each clan has a different deadly curse that's put on them. They're all different kind of magical people. And that in itself I find really, really interesting. I thought that was really unique and I quite liked that whole premise. And I did really like the whole plot of the first one. Like I thought it was actually really, really good. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions about it, but personally I really enjoyed it. However, the love story in this is a little bit hard for me to root for. It is a love triangle. I feel like the same one as everyone else's. I'm rooting for Grimm. I just need her to choose. I can't. It's like in Twilight when she goes through that whole Edward Jacob situation and I'm like, honey, just choose. Just choose. It's giving this vibe, except this is kind of elongated. That's not to say that I'm not enjoying this. Like the last one was a 3 stars. I still enjoyed it. The first one was a 4 stars. And I do think this will be a really easy read. I am this far in. I'm using this as a bookmark. I am 74 pages in. It doesn't have number chapters. As I said, this is the third one in the saga and I originally thought, well, we all originally thought this was going to be the last one. Aster has confirmed that there are going to be, I think, 2 more at least in the series. So this is the last one that is out at the moment. So once I finish this, and also with this, I finished that series, at least of what's out at the moment. Then with this one as well, I'll be finishing the series of what is out at the moment. I'm not sure. They may be releasing this year, maybe next year. I'm not entirely sure. This one also isn't very long, so I feel like it's definitely easier for me to read. It is 380 pages. So yeah, this is our next read. Okay, I am literally almost halfway through Skyshade because it's just a really easy book to read. Like it really doesn't take much brain power to be reading this, which is nice. It's actually nice. It's a nice change after Onyx. Whilst I really like this world, I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion, but I actually really like the whole Lilac setting, like the whole island and deadly curses and the whole magic system I think is really fun. And as I said, I don't know if I'm alone in that opinion. I don't know if everyone agrees with me. I don't know. I just know that this series in general gets a lot of like discourse, let's just say. With this one in particular, we are kind of going really fast. Like I feel like things are really, really fast paced. And like, as I said, it's kind of hitting well for me because I needed something quick and fast paced. I didn't need a super detailed fantasy book. And as I said, this is really quick as well. It's like a 350 page book. The next day, by the way, I read a bit last night. Kind of just sped through it. Like it really wasn't hard to get through. I'm at page 170 at the moment. So pretty much halfway through, maybe a little bit under. Our main protagonist, oh, okay, she's annoying me a little bit. It's not that bad, but it is like enough to make me irritated. I will say I'm pretty good at like ignoring annoying characters if I want to, but yeah, anyway, when they're protagonists, it's a little bit harder. I like Grimm. He had this whole like little monologue recently and I just was like, okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of hot. I'm not even gonna lie. It takes a lot for me to say that about a guy protagonist. Yeah, he's definitely the better one, I think. I think he's the one that she should choose. Anyway, probably not gonna happen happen, if I'm going to be honest. Who knows what's going to happen? This love triangle is probably going to be prolonged into the next books because why not? As I said, it does feel really fast paced. Like I feel like we're moving through it in fast motion. It's kind of like I just hit like 2 times speed on my audiobook, and that's what I feel like I'm reading at, which is not the worst thing in the world, but I definitely think we could probably have a little bit more detail. I'm glad I went into this after I read Nightbane quite recently, because I think I would be a little bit confused if I went into it beforehand. But like, you know what? We're just going with it. We're just going with the vibes. We're just kind of rolling with it at this point. It's a fun ride. I'm trying not to be too critical of it because really it's just a fun YA fantasy series. It's not that deep. And that's kind of what I'm going with. I'm just going with the flow. I'm going with the ride. Yeah, we'll keep reading. We'll see. Hopefully I'll get close to finishing it today, if not finish it. Okay, I finally finished Skyshade, and I say that because this has actually taken me a few days. I just didn't read anything yesterday purely because I just didn't feel like it. Like wasn't itching to pick this book up. I was kind of just like the opposite, honestly. I was kind of like, that's what I have to read. Okay. Like it felt like a chore instead of what I wanted to read, and I feel so bad saying that. I'd never want to say that about any book because like obviously everyone has different tastes and some people might have absolutely loved this, and as I said, it was definitely fast moving, so it wasn't the fact that I got bored, it was just the fact that I wasn't as invested in the story as I was hoping to have been. It was very easy to read, it was very easy to just binge, like it was good, it was definitely good. I'm thinking like a 3 stars. I wouldn't go below a 3 stars, honestly. It feels like a YA series, it feels like a young YA fantasy romance series, and the ending has left open so many possibilities, which I think will be really interesting to see where she goes. I don't think I'll be like running to get the newest book, but when it does release, but like I'll probably continue it. It's definitely an easy one. I do really like the audiobooks. I didn't listen to the audiobooks for this one because the other 2 were on Spotify. So if you have Spotify, like I recommend listening to the audiobooks of the Light Luck series. They're definitely very easy and kind of those ones that you can like be doing chores, like you can be cleaning, you can be painting, whatever, whilst you listen to them. And I feel like that's definitely, I don't know, I like being like audiobooks that if you miss one thing, it's not like you're going to be completely lost, like in Brandon Sanderson. Like it's definitely an easy series to follow. So for that reason, I feel like it's a 3 stars. I do like some of the characters. The main character kind of annoys me a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. I do like Grimm. I like Grimm. But yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't really itching to pick it up, and I really wish I was. But at least that means we've ticked off this series for now until more books come out. It means we've ticked off another series in my list. And like, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. I should definitely be proud of that. And I kind of was hoping I'd have more answered questions, especially to one big thing. And I just don't really, like I don't know. It's confusing. It's confusing me. But yes, that is our 3rd book of the video done. And that means we have reached the end of our reading vlog. So thank you so much for watching. If you've watched all the way to here, that is like incredible to me. Thank you so much. You mean the world to me. I am loving these vlogs. Please let me know if you have any ideas for vlogs you want, because I love interacting with you. I love getting your feedback on everything. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some recommendations whether you want to continue these series as well. I love you all so much, and I will see you very soon in my next video.